Isabella Food.
Wyatt Ratzler.
Alex Babcock.
Jaron Killerman.
Mariana Ratzler.
Brandon Fike.
Tatum Bartels.
Alyssa Fawcett.
Kinsey Huber.
Taya Cunningham.
Maggie Mulberg.
Maddie Mathis. Layla Kern.
Sam Pruitt.
Megan Johnston. Alexis Chavez.
Tanner Cole.
Welcome back to another episode of PTV. I'm Maddie Mathis.
And I'm Tatum Bartels. Some juniors and seniors at PHS took learning on the road as they traveled to New York City and DC.
Alex Babcock and Wyatt Ratzliff are two of those students who took this trip. Here's their report.
Some students participated in the New York DC trip.
This is our first stop on our tour at the Gettysburg National Cemetery, and we were at the site where they commemorate Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, so it's a good way to start the trip. And everybody's happy to be out, and it's beautiful weather, so the trip is off to a good start.
My favorite part on this trip was probably Broadway. That was a lot of fun. Washington, D.C. is really pretty. It's kind of cold right now, but it's a lot cleaner and more sophisticated than New York was.
New York. I like the ice skating and the Hard Rock Cafe.
My favorite part of the trip is always watching the expressions on the faces of the students, seeing how much they enjoy everything. This is my 37th year doing this. Some year we did 2 trips, so I don't know how many of these I've done.
I got to go to Aladdin, and that was really great. I like New York, I think. Washington is cool, though, because it's our capital. You get to see where things happen, but New York is fun. I really liked New York a lot better than DC because it was really crowded, and I got a lot more experience than what I did in Kerwin, I guess.
They're 2 very different cities. I suppose I worked in New York for many years, so I'm a little partial to that. We used to think that when we left the craziness of New York and got to DC, that it was easier, but since 9/11, I think DC has become difficult.
If I was able to come back to one of these cities, I definitely would.
For PTV, this is Alex Babcock.
Those students weren't the only ones traveling over spring break. Brandon Fike and Lauren Walgren also took interesting trips. Isabella Futh and Taya Cunningham have more.
Spring break brings a refreshing vacation for students, but for some, it also brings a fun trip. Lauren Walgren experienced interesting culture right here in Kansas City.
I went to an anime convention in Kansas City. The convention was full of tons of people expressing themselves through outfits and merchandise that they purchased. People wearing outfits are called cosplayers. It's when you dress up as your favorite character from an anime or a video game and go hang out with other people. I've been watching anime since I was extremely small, and I started drawing when I was around that age as well, so my passion just kind of grown over the years for it. This is the biggest convention I've been to out of 3 that I've gone to. It had way more people than I've seen in any of the other ones, and lots and lots of booths to buy things from. I plan to attend all of the conventions this year that I did last year, and hopefully more.
Brandon Fike traveled to another country completely.
Me and my mom, we went to England for my senior trip. I visited family a lot. That's where my mom's from, so I met all my uncles for the first time there, and we went to London one day on a Thursday, the first Thursday we were there, and went and saw the Tower of London, and the Crown Jewels were there, and we went and saw the London Eye, and I went up in that, and it's really slow. I went to a bird sanctuary with my granddad. The way they act there is a lot different. Compared to Americans, they're very polite. It's very different, so I had to get used to that. It was a good experience, though.
Reporting for PTV, this is Taya Cunningham
and Isabella Futh.
Also over the break, the Phillips County Art Council put on a play at the Huck Boyd. Some PHS students were part of this production. Let's take a look.
It starts with this mansion this lady is renting, and she likes to throw these weird parties, and she invites all these detective writers who are playing their character people in their books, and each character is based off a real detective hero or heroine from another book or TV show or radio show, stuff like that. and she has this maid who is convicted of a crime that no one can remember what it was, and she's basically only cleaning because she's on parole. And so throughout the play, they're just trying to solve a murder that happens, and like they end up being like the worst detectives ever. And so I guess we all find out that writing detective mystery is easier than actually being a detective.
A variety of characters made up the cast.
I'm Laura Carlisle. I was married to the dead man. Actually, it turns out his twin brother was the dead man. But I was a mystery writer.
The character I played was Charity Hayes, who is a mystery detective writer.
I play an idiot named Haversham, and I just get all these dumb lines and like stupid actions, like someone says, "Haversham, get a hold of yourself," and I just like grab myself, and I get the total slapstick, and that's my favorite.
My favorite part of the play was my fake fight with Hannah. I got to pull her hair and she smacked me, walloped me good.
My favorite part of the play was like all the joking around with everyone. Like, I don't know, I felt closer to people more than I ever have in any other play. Like, it was just a lot of fun.
For PTV, this is Alex Eisenhagen.
Spring is a busy time of year for our music students. The PHS Amendment hosted their annual benefit last Sunday. Here's more.
The PHS Amendment shows off their talent at the benefit.
Every spring, the Amendment gives a benefit concert to help raise money for their annual tour, and also to raise money to buy props and equipment that they need for their performances. So we give that benefit every spring to help raise money for things like that. And it's also a way to show off the different songs we've been working on all year for the show choir. I really liked the whole production. It was a lot of fun to put together. All the kids worked really hard. We had a lot of numbers to put together, but I think they pulled them off all splendidly. I think my favorite part would be the second act when we did the set of 60s tunes. Seeing all the dancing and singing come together for those 5 numbers was really awesome.
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it very much. I liked their dresses and I liked their songs, and I always enjoy benefit.
My favorite part was how I noticed several of the students picked their own personal song to sing because of some things they've gone through in their lives. And I noticed one of the moms wipe the tears because the song that her child sang was real touching to her.
I really enjoy singing solos, so this is a really good time for me to be able to shine in that area. This year we got to choose some of the show choir pieces. A lot of the pieces we chose were kind of just songs that we liked, and then we each get to pick, like if we sing a solo, we get to pick that solo, and we get to pick our duets also. So.
Well, I'm kind of biased. My sisters are in it, so I love their solos, of course. But I really liked how great the group harmonizes together. There aren't very many guys, but they sounded so strong, and the harmonies were just wonderful. Like, they sound really great together.
For PTV, this is Alexis Chavez.
Music students also competed at regionals last weekend. Receiving ones on their performances are Hannah Peak with her brass solo, Quentin Conrad with his percussion solo, Brandon Fike, Blake Verbis, and Jack Pockabeer with their trumpet trio, Wyatt Ratliff, Lindsay Soliday, J.C. Kellerman, Quentin Conrad, and Donovan Lumpkin with their percussion quintet, Macy Whitmer with her saxophone solo, and Amy Pugh with her vocal solo.
Good job and good luck at state.
Now it's time for our sports report. For this, we go to Matt, Jaron, and Brandon for what they call Sportsburg.
Welcome to Sportsburg. I'm Jaron Kellerman.
I'm Matt Blair.
And I'm Brandon Fike.
The spring sports have begun. The track team should be pretty good, as the boys are state defending champions.
The girls should also do pretty well, as we have a lot of returning girls, and the potential is pretty high to go far in the season. Oriana and Megan have more.
The track season kicked off this past week. Mr. Covington explains important details about the upcoming track season.
We have a total of 32 this year. We have 18 girls and 14 boys, So our numbers are down a little bit, but we feel like our quality's still pretty good.
Our team this year, it's all right, I guess. We have a lot of young kids this year, but they know that they need to step up and fill some shoes.
Well, it's just the start of our second week of practice, but our first week went pretty well. We had some weather that is typical track weather, but we feel like we got some things accomplished. And then this week will be an important week for us as we prepare for the first meet at Norton here in the following week. Our first track meet will be next Monday, which is April the 6th. That's a JV track meet at Smith Center. Then we follow that up with a varsity meet at Norton on Friday. We're just excited to get the season going. Our boys are defending state champions and then MCL champions, so you know, it'll be tough for us to repeat in that, but feel like our quality is still very good, and we're looking for some good things out of our girls again this year. The girls should be right up the top of the MCL.
For PTV, this is Megan Townsend.
Thank you for the story, Megan and Oriana.
The golf team should be pretty good this year also.
With 3 returning seniors, myself, Jaron Kellerman, and Lucas Jacobs, we all should do pretty well this season. Layla and Sam have more on this story.
The Phillipsburg High School golf team tees off on a new season with a set of brand new goals and a couple of brand new coaches.
Coaches this year for golf is myself, plus Coach Hyman and Coach Fiskus this year. Our returning golfers, our top golfers would be Jaron Kellerman and Lucas Jacobs. They both played on our state team last year.
Senior Lucas Jacobs sets high expectations for this season.
My personal goal is to place at league and regionals.
Sophomore Macy Whitmer is one of 3 girls on the team.
Golf is great. Golf has been fun so far. There's not very many girls, but I'm glad I at least have a few, so I'm not awkward.
The team is working hard to get better.
I mean, junior varsity, just every day they step on a course to get better and spend a lot of time practicing because golf's a difficult sport.
From PTV, this is Layla Karim.
Thanks for that golf report. It's coming down to the wire, the NCAA tournament, that is.
Woo! March Madness!
We'll take a previewed look at the Final 4 teams in the tournament. With Travis Trice and Denzel Valentine leading Michigan State, I think they'll be a very fierce competitor for the Duke basketball team.
But Duke has Jewel Okafor, who can open up the outside shots for Quinn Cook and Justice Winslow to hit their 3-pointers, which could be a big problem for Michigan State.
The other matchup we have is Wisconsin Badgers and the Kentucky Wildcats. Any thoughts on that?
Well, if Wisconsin can hit their outside shots, they could take down Kentucky easily. But Kentucky is very good at contesting those 3-point shots, so it could be a real tough battle.
And Frank Kaminsky will battle Carl Anthony Towns inside, so that should be one heck of a matchup. You got anything to say?
Wildcats, get your head in the game!
Is that your pick?
I think Anthony Towns will lead the Wildcats all the way to the national championship.
And yours?
I think the Blue Devils can't be contested, and they will be the national champions.
And I think Frank Kaminsky and the Wisconsin Badgers will go all the way.
That's it for this, Sportsburg. Let's send it back to our anchors.
Prom is coming up. To put you in the dancing spirit, we have a new feature for you today.
It's called Dancing with the Teachers. Be sure to watch each pair of contestants carefully because you'll get to help decide the winners. Welcome to Dancing with the Teachers. I'm your host, Maddie Mathis. Our first couple is Mr. Fiskus and Suzanne Huntley performing the Funky Fiskus. Let's get to it.
Ice cold, Michelle fight for that white gold. This one for them hood girls. Them.
Vote for the Funky Fiskus.
Wow, you guys really put the funk in funky. Let's see what our judges have to say.
Mr. Fiskus, you looked really into it. 10.
You guys really killed it. 9.
And that's what the judges have to say, but don't forget you can have a say in it too. After the show, check your email for your own voting ballot. And now on to our next couple performing the Ballroom Billings. It's Mrs. Billings and Lucas Jacobs. I hope she's okay. Let's see what the judges have to say.
Very elegant, and I like the rose. 8.
The ending was a little rough. 7.
There's that. Our third couple is Mrs. Sides and J.C. Kellerman. They will be performing the Swingin' Sides. Watch out, Mr. Sides. You've got some competition. Let's see what the judges have to say about this one.
The ending added an extra touch. 9.
Better keep up, JC. 8.
I'll have to agree with that one, but continue watching and remember you get to vote too. Our next couple is Mrs. Jarvis and Stuart Linneman. They will be performing the Jarvis Jive. Mrs. Jarvis really can bust a move. Let's see what the judges have to say.
Looks like it was a perfect score.
10. And now to our final couple. Mr. Roth and Kinsey Ratliff will be performing the Robotic Roth. Let's see what they've got. Hey, maybe I'll try that at prom. What do you judges have to say?
Well, I wasn't really feeling it. Nice try. 7.
I love the synchronized robotic voices. 9.
And that wraps up Dancing with the Teachers. Be sure to send in your ballots.
PHS students and staff, be sure to check your email and cast your vote for the best performance. The winners will each receive a $10 iTunes gift card.
That's it for another edition of PTV. I'm Maddie Mathis.
And I'm Kaden Bartels. Stay classy, Phillipsburg High.